Recently on Dana White's Contender series, we saw a new contender, Raul Rosas, become the youngest fighter to join the UFC. And because he wasn't of age, he had to get his parents to sign his contract to even compete on the Contender series. Leave a comment below if you think 17 is too young to fight in any ring. Yet when all the initial hype has faded, what really matters is whether the man, or boy in this case, can fight. What was apparent was that his ability to grapple and constantly put on the pressure against his opponent, who was 8 years older than him. Raul Rosas Jr. fought against Mando Gutierrez and showed that the hype around his age was no joke. Within the first 30 seconds, we saw Rosas attempt a jumping spin kick and then scramble into a single leg, which then allowed him to take top position. It showed that Rosas' IQ in the ring is already better than some of the top fighters coming into this series. Another defining moment was his ability to take control and maintain it. During the fight, Raul was able to take Mando's back and kept going for a choke and doing damage from a safe position. The ability to take on what seemed like a bigger fighter and control them on the ground showed the development of a budding star. Listen to what Raul had to say after the fight on his ascension in the UFC.
He was a tough guy, hanging in there, so props to him, but next time I will get the kill.
So at the end of the fight, it's a great performance, no question about it, right? But we all still wondered, he's 17. Are they going to give him a contract? So from the moment the fight's over until you hear Dana say yes, what's your expectations?
Wait, what?
Did you think, guaranteed, because it was a great performance, right? But you're still so young. So as you're waiting to hear Dana, do you think, oh, he's definitely giving me the contract? Or do you think, I don't know, maybe I'm too young?
Nah, hell no. I'm here for a reason, so I knew he was going to give me that contract, otherwise I wouldn't be here, I'm 17 and I'm 6-0, I know what I can do, and he knows what I can do, well, he really doesn't, but he will know what I can do after I keep showing out. I want to fight this Saturday, but I heard there's no event this Saturday, so I'll fight whenever they have another event, I'm just ready to go out there and get the kill.
What's important to take away is that Raul knows he didn't absolutely dominate his opponent and that he has more in his arsenal. Plus, he's taking accountability and humility in his fights, giving respect back to his gym and saying that he wants to show out more in his next fight. This wasn't some quick KO where we saw Raul get lucky with a strike. No. This was a dominant 3-round performance. Another crucial aspect of being in the cage is going for 15 minutes and not being gassed. Rosas showed that he was capable of continuing his pressure even though he had some moments where it started to get shaky. Still, that didn't matter as he was able to get away with a win and then a contract into the UFC. Even Dana White was impressed with the young fighter's performance. Here's his reaction after giving Rosas a contract.
All right, now let's talk about Raul Rosas, right? The 17-year-old. Clearly, unbelievable skills in there tonight. Didn't get the finish, but only because his opponent was incredibly tough.
100%. This is one of those fights. This fight was awesome for both of these guys. This was good for both of them. You got a guy who's now 6-0, and Mando was 7-1 at the time. And what a war, what a technical fight it was. Both guys pushed themselves as hard as they could. And for a 17-year-old to conduct himself the way he did in this fight, I was blown away by it. Blown away.
You know the obvious questions, right? He's so young. Clearly he's skilled, but when you bring him into the UFC, are you worried at how you matchmake him off the top? Because
Not off what I just saw. Not off what I just saw. After what I just saw, this kid's ready for, he's ready to fight in the UFC.
Clearly, the boss at the top thinks Rosas is ready to fight and compete with the best of them. Yet there's still some questions around whether he needs a couple more years before he can compete at the top level. Give him a couple years to develop, and Raul Rosas might be someone who could challenge Jon Jones as the youngest fighter to be a title holder. So, what do you think about the young fighter? Does he have what it takes to be a star and champion in the next 2 to 3 years? I'll link to his bio and fight below so you can get a look at how incredible he was during his show. As always, thanks for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed, leave a like and tell us one thing you see in Raul Rosas. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on Knockout TV.